See which noise they like best.
Okay.
Or number 2.
Oh my god. Anyone getting tingles?
Your turn. Anyway.
Hello everyone.
Hello, everyone.
Have I got food in my teeth?
No.
We're ready to go.
We're ready to go. How
We're
are
back,
you?
bitches.
Oh, fighting talk. What's happened?
Well, I went back on medication, so we're back.
I love that.
Yeah, it's been pretty brilliant.
I've noticed a huge difference.
Yeah.
When was it that you came off?
So I was on medication for like 4 years, and then I went through my breakup, and then went manic. No. Woo! And then I went back on medication a week ago
Yes.
because I was like, fuck it, I don't need this anymore.
But
I'm
you
crazy.
came off it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After my breakup.
Oh, God.
And then I, the dark winter came. And I realised perhaps I could do with some help, some serotonin boosters.
Yeah.
Because my lamp wasn't cutting it, you see. As much as it helps, it wasn't quite giving me the chemical balance that I needed and expected from my lamp. So I went on medication, and now I don't hate my life. Anyone else?
I love that. You were quite worried about going back on, weren't you?
Yeah, well, I had this weird sensory thing where I couldn't swallow tablets.
Yeah.
And it happened when I was younger because do you remember when we were at school, we used to have to eat tablets on biscuits?
Oh, my fuck.
And then jam and
That's
stuff.
not right, though. I got given two paracetamols sandwiched in between 2 rich tea biscuits at school.
Makes me feel sick, violently sick.
Like, yeah. But that was in the height of the height of my paracetamol problem.
Womp, womp,
Do you remember
womp. Yeah, I remember your paracetamol problem.
I took 2 paracetamols every 4 hours
Just in case.
for like 2 years straight, every 4 hours.
Yeah, I remember that.
And because I always thought I had a headache, but I didn't.
Anyone know what that means?
The doctor
This was
like,
before anything.
yeah. The doctor was like, "Oh, do you want kids?" And I was like 16. I was like, bit intrusive, but perhaps. And he was like, "Well, if you carry on taking this paracetamol at this rate, then you're not going to be able to have any painkillers when you give birth."
Oh,
So I was like, "Okay, I'll stop,"
that's good.
and I stopped. Mum used to
good.
hide them.
I know.
I sound like a fiend. I don't remember it being that bad.
It was.
It's when I was anemic, wasn't it?
Yes.
Anyway,
But
sorry
anyway,
to
I
take
don't
over from your story.
Yeah, it's not about you.
Yeah,
It's actually about me.
that's okay.
And I love
respect
my tablets.
tablets.
My tablets.
I love
Oh,
my tablets.
tablets.
My happy little pill
Take me away.
in my eyes.
Hey.
Bring colour to my
That's
skies.
how it brings colour to my skies. My
actually
sweet little
does.
pill.
Yeah. What's the other song we sing about medication? Doctor, doctor, medicine please.
I think she says anything.
Doctor, doctor, have mercy on me.
And take your medication, Roman. Thing is,
Huh?
take your medication, Roman.
What's that?
Nicki Minaj.
Is that what she says? Oh my God, no, there's the other one. Oh, the one. This is my Spotify Wrapped top song last year. And it was the song that I put on when I was having a breakdown. It was the song I'd put on when I was
If
having a
I
breakdown.
see a banana, I will eat
No,
it.
that's this year. Last year, my top played song by like 3,000 miles was Eliza Doolittle, Mr. Medicine.
Oh, yeah.
That's another one about antidepressants.
Yes.
Oh, Mr.
I don't think that's about antidepressants. I think
it's
that's about
dick.
penis.
Yeah, but I resonated with it in a different way.
Oh, feminist queen.
But the banana song, we've got to talk about that quickly before we get back on.
Before we get back on
Before we get back onto what you were saying about sertraline, can we talk about the monkey song?
the funky monkey. Yes, funky monkey.
I don't know if I can play it because of copyright, but just type in the monkey song by Hugo FM on Spotify. This is the only
will
song
regret it.
This is the only song that gets funeral songs out of my head. So recently I've been having like 2 funeral songs that keep just jumping in my head at random times and just won't stop.
Here, here.
And it's been so bad recently. And the other day, it just came in. Obviously, I just burst into tears. And Leslie, my boyfriend, was like, "What the hell?" And he was on the aux in the car, and he was looking at animal songs, and he found the song, and he saved my life. No, seriously.
Thank you, Leslie.
Shall we sing it?
No. If I see a banana, I will eat it.
And I repeat it, swinging on a vine, swinging on a vine, swinging on a vine,
like a funky monkey.
smelling fine,
Smelling fine.
smelling fine,
Like a skunky. That, and it's so bad and so abhorrent and
Bad?
so evil.
It's amazing.
It's amazing that it is the cure for all,
Everything.
yeah, not everything, but
A lot of things.
a lot of things. And I usually have funeral songs playing in my head at least every hour.
Cool. Have you noticed that? Have you been like,
Always.
that's always been every hour?
Always. I wouldn't say every hour to like on the dot, but like that frequent all the time since it happened.
Oh my God.
And I was telling Jess, my best mate, the other day, that the only thing I remember from the funeral is the funeral song coming on. I got out the car, I was feeling manic crazy, I was laughing away. Saw everyone, was like, oh shit. And then the funeral song came on, and we went in as it came on. And I remember looking to my left and just seeing my form tutor looking at me because they had to cook and represent the school. So I see that man's face in my brain all the time. And I remember just looking at him, bursting into tears because I like clicked what was happening, and then the song clicked in my brain.
Oh
and
my
then we
God.
walked down the aisle, and then that's all I remember, walking down the aisle. And that's all I remember from that funeral.
Oh my God.
Can't
Not
do
the form tutor. I completely forgot that the
Had to
form
come and
tutors had to
represent the
come.
school.
Why? Why? Why do form tutors have to come and represent the school at my mum's
Represent the
funeral?
school. Mum didn't go there. She didn't even know I did at GCSE.
Dad did.
Dad did.
Dad's
'cause
alive.
He went in. Dad's alive.
I'm going to
went
do
in.
No. No. Don't do that.
Dad is alive.
You can't
and
keep
he
saying that.
When
Like
sorry,
rubbing it
I'm
in.
sorry.
Show
I'm sorry. Show off. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But he went into my school and he stirred
Such a
shit up. Yeah, he did, because my school were like bleep bleep was like
Trigger warning.
was like, you need to come back to school, daft cow, because you've taken too long. It's been 18 months now. And
She said that, didn't she?
yeah, to my face. And I remember my friend Nancy was there, and she was literally like, I'm not sure about that. And my dad literally went, she will take as long as she fucking needs to get better, and you will wait for her. And
Oh
then
my
she was
God.
like, okay.
That's actually heartwarming.
Isn't it? And I was literally sat there like,
That's heartwarming.
it's heartwarming.
I also went in there.
Yeah, you did.
Stand up straight when you're talking to me. Move correct when you're looking at me. I remember when my drama teacher died. I was a musical theatre freaky drama nerd. Mm-hmm. Sorry if you're one of those.
Rest in action.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that if you are. But for me, yeah. Anyway. I was so close to my drama teacher, Bloom. She was the most amazing woman. Mm-hmm. And I just obviously was one of those kids that's best friend was the drama teacher.
Yeah, me too. Eating lunch in there.
Yeah. She died in school.
No, at the time of school.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes. You looked at me then like, can you just lay it off for 1 second?
And this teacher that we were just talking about,
Bleep, bleep.
she wouldn't let any of us go to the funeral, even though we'd all been invited by her husband, because, yeah, she would have wanted us there because she was so committed to drama.
She
was the best teacher.
It was her life.
And they invited us. And yeah, she wouldn't let us go.
Because she said, what, suck it up or something?
She said it's been set amount of time now. You're not going to, like, you need to get on with your A-levels. And
could I give less of a fuck about my A-levels?
But she actually did pass in, like, we had, like, a really short amount of time until our exam. It was, like, in the most crazy time.
Yeah. Because then you had a substitute for the end.
We had so many substitutes during that time. And the school, like, that's when I really saw, like, the school, it wasn't even, obviously it's a business and has to run. I understand. But there was no, like, I didn't feel like there was any warmth towards it. It was like, okay, quick, we need to get this in the A-level, like, we need to get the results up for the school. It was like, you're not dropping now, because if you all get bad results, then it's going to look bad on the school.
Yeah.
And it was always like, just snap out of it, just get on with it. Like, you obviously just have to do it. And I just remember, and then all the substitutes coming in, and there was, like, it was suddenly like her space, that she'd created this magical space in the drama studio at school, where everyone felt safe. That's why we were fucking in there all the time.
Yeah.
And then suddenly she was gone, and her space was just completely transformed to, like, it was so weird.
It is weird, because
the magic's
then,
just gone.
obviously, you left that school the year that I joined, so we never crossed over in that school. So I went into year 10 doing drama, knowing that Bloom had just passed, but then I had substitutes. So I had my drama teacher at the time who ran the youth theatre in the town.
Yeah.
So she,
amazing woman.
she's honestly one of the best women I've ever met.
Yeah.
Helped me a lot with mum. Like, before
she was a guardian angel.
She was a guardian angel. Before my youth theatre class, we used to go for dinner before, or coffee, and have a snack, and I'd tell her everything, and she would basically be my therapist for 2 hours. Aww. And then she'd drive me to youth theatre, and then she'd drive me home afterwards, and it would be every Wednesday. But anyway, she then came in, and I was obviously happy that it was her, because I knew that her. But I feel like with you guys, there was that resentment of that. How was that?
Well, I obviously knew how amazing your teacher was, so there was no resentment from me. I don't remember there being resentment towards any teachers. It was more towards the, like, new teachers.
That space.
It was more towards the people above that had just shown not much empathy when making all these quick business decisions, and, like, not letting us go to a funeral. Like, there was just a lot of anger from me towards that. I don't remember. I remember being annoyed when people would be in the studio and not really treating it how
it was.
And, like, loads of randoms would just be in there, and obviously that's just like, this is my space, but it was, like, special. But yeah, God, I've not thought about that drama studio in years.
Me either. What was it called? Because the place that we did the
Hammond.
The Hammond was when we did it was called the Max.
Oh my God, the Max. I've not heard that. I've just had, like, a visceral reaction when you said that word. I also used to have, so behind the Max was Bloom's office.
That got turned into changing rooms.
Yeah, that was it. That was what upset me, because I remember being in school and they were all just clearing out her office, and it was just, like, quickly changed into this. Yeah, it was quite.
That's horrible.
And yeah,
they should have protected you from that. That's the thing. Like, that teacher in particular as well that was talking to us like shit. She was the safeguarding officer for that school. She was head of safeguarding, or, like, she was, like, head of year or something. So she had huge responsibility for you guys specifically, because she was head of your year, and she would just obviously care about the numbers and the stats, because that's her year. And if your grades went down, it would look bad on her.
Yeah.
Even though, from a humanity level, like, she could have just said the teacher died and that's why they all got bad grades.
Yeah, and that was also the argument I had with you, was because you'd been predicted A's and everything throughout school.
Cutty.
Boom. And then they weren't going to give you your predicted grades.
Yeah. And then fucking bleep got her period in the exam, and she got her predicted grades. And I literally said, what? Mum died, but if I got my period, I'd have been fine. And they gave her predicted grades. And then obviously, when lockdown came about, I was in uni, and I just remember seeing all of it and being like, that's how easy it is to just give them the predicted grades. And I was like, you could have done that. But then obviously you went in and you told her to pack it in. and like whatever happened, and if those walls could talk. But then she let me stay on for sixth form, didn't she? And she let me not take. I didn't take my GCSEs. I've got 2.5.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Because you were on track.
yeah, I was on track for all of it, but then I got put in a separate room for my A-level exams because I think it's an autistic thing, but I couldn't focus in an exam hall because I felt the pressure of everything. If I sat in a room on my own, I could do the exam as if I was in my bedroom, like a mock exam. So they told me after she died, because I thought it was a trigger during exam season,
Right.
because she died during exam season, mum did. I thought that I would get a separate room, and then obviously Beast one.
Stop saying her full name.
You're gonna have to. I'm sorry.
Time.
Sorry. She told me I was going to get a separate room, and then when I was lining up for my exam, A-level, I had to go in the hall, and I failed. I missed out 230 markers in the drama exam and English because I had a panic attack. But in media, I got my own room and I got an A-star. It's mad. It's actually mad. Like they literally don't give a fuck.
That's crazy.
I know.
And that just says it all, because it's like they want the grades to make the school look good, but to get the grades you need to treat people with compassion. Like people, and not like numbers. And obviously it's complex because like schools are underfunded, and like they don't have enough staff, and like they don't even have the training for it. But that is that's a thing that needs to be solved.
It's so shit, because then I obviously watched that school go through like money trouble, and they cut the whole mental health department, so it was just one teacher, and she had to be the counsellor for years 7 to 13 on her own, and I was one of them, which took up pretty much every day, every schedule of every day. It's mad.
She was also an amazing woman.
She was incredible.
You've been blessed along your journey with some seriously amazing women.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, there's a good few. My drama teacher actually saved my life. So did she, to be fair, and the youth theatre.
Are we allowed to say their names? Because we are bigging them up.
Claire fucking mate. That might be her maiden name. Anyway, Claire, my love, I love you. You're coming to my wedding, motherfucker. And Amanda and Bex, all of you. Oh, queens.
Honest to God,
queens.
They really put in the work that I couldn't do. From afar.
But what they did is they taught me how to act with people, and like I learned so much about the world from them women who taught me that feeling is like the nuance of emotion is so wide, and like they taught me that there's no wrong way to act when you grieve, and that nothing you can do is wrong, and like I mean to some extent, but like there's no wrong way to grieve.
Yeah.
And they taught me that like you're allowed to feel so many things, because I was a child. I didn't really know the breadth of how far emotion was, or where it could go. Like I hadn't obviously been through like a breakup or anything yet. Hadn't been through anything. Oof. Don't know about that.
Hadn't been through anything.
I'd been through things, but obviously not that. And yeah, I just learned how to be patient with people, and like I feel like the empathy level that I have now and the emotional intelligence that I have now is from those women being patient with me. Because I actually do. Because I didn't know. And now I obviously...
I'm gonna cry.
People honestly say to me, like, obviously, that I'm emotionally intelligent and stuff, but, like, that's because I learnt it during that time. Like, I was learning it live. Do you know what I mean?
Live and direct, baby.
Yeah.
You were AJ Tracy and that shit.
Live and direct. AJ Tracy and that bitch. Yeah, I was.
Oh, my God.
Love
I'm
them.
so proud of you.
I'm so proud of you.
And that ties in really well to you going back on Searchling, because this journey...
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, because I was unmedicated at school.
You were unmedicated at school.
Yeah. Don't they know it? Everyone from school commenting like, yeah, we know.
Yeah, bitch. Say something
yeah, bitch, we know.
Oh my God.
You're on medication too.
I am on medication. I've gone up. So I'm on citalopram. And I'm on 30 now. I only started medication last year, which is berserk.
It's bizarre.
It's bizarre is what it is. I went up to 30 and lost my whole libido. It's gone.
I have a note in my phone that just says sertraline. Under it says no libido, no sex.
Why?
At like 2 a.m. must have been journaling.
Wow. Honest to God, it's pretty crazy. And also
mad.
what I find's crazy is how that's so linked to body confidence for
Go
me.
on. For
Pop
you,
off.
go on. Pop off. Let her cook.
Just for me, let me cook. For me, it's like, this isn't about grief, but
scream into the void, guys. Get out.
just like when you don't feel sexy, I haven't like looked at myself in a way that's like purr in ages. Mic drop. Need to just reset the cameras.
I haven't looked at myself like purr in ages. Go on, tell me about your body dysmorphia.
I don't want to talk about it, but it's so linked. To be honest, this is what I'm about to say is really sad, but I cannot remember the last time. Oh, this is sounding pick me. I don't even want to. I can't remember. I was saying to Leslie, I can't remember the last time I looked at myself and thought, you look good.
What the flying fuck?
No.
Makes me so sad. Not even when you see Megan.
No, I haven't seen Megan in ages. Megan is, by the way, if you don't know, real ones know this already.
If you don't know, get to know.
You can take the floor.
Megan is when we're setting up
to explain myself.
We're setting up for filming, and Amy needs to remember that she's that bitch. So I say, "There's Megan," and she's
Megan Fox.
Megan Fox. She looks like Megan Fox. If you didn't know, she does look like Megan Fox. So
that's why people
now you know.
I think, yeah, people get confused sometimes about who it is on the podcast. And
whether it's you or
Megan.
whether Megan Fox
I've
is my
had that,
sister.
like, people have messaged me that.
You're a liar. People have messaged you saying you look like Matthew McConaughey.
Oh my God.
And Romeo Beckham.
Cruz
Beckham, which I know is right. And
Alicia
I don't
looks like
to
Cruz
know.
Beckham. I'm
It's
gonna
gender as hell, but I don't like that because he's ugly. He is.
Alicia.
He's ugly.
You're a troll. You're an internet troll. You're literally using your platform to call someone ugly. That's really horrible.
I'm not.
It's Cruz Beckham in a beanie though, only.
He looks like me. If I could grow a beard, it'll be over for you lot.
You could grow a beard.
Serbian.
Yeah. I'm getting black little hairs at the moment on my chin. And skin tags, which is very Serbian.
Stop talking about your skin tags online. How is that anything to do with
like
mum?
that?
What's that? Yes.
Do I?
Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey. So someone commented saying I look like Matthew McConaughey, not Megan. Matthew McConaughey. He's a sexy fucking motherfucker though.
Says no one.
He is.
No.
He is.
Megan Fox is.
Yeah, but that's because you're gay and I'm straight.
It's charged.
No,
No, because you're down
here. Get it.
She's bi as hell. Purr.
Right.
Anyway,
should we talk about grief?
yes.
You know what we do? We should update the people.
Why?
Why?
Wait, what? With what?
Me moving away.
Duh, duh.
But it doesn't change anything with the podcast. I'm only moving to London. It's literally down the road.
Down the road. Does Dad know that?
No.
He's going to say, what about Alicia? And you need to prepare for that.
So that leads us very nicely into... we had a conversation about me moving to London. We're still going to be doing the podcast, by the way, because I'm still working at the same place in Manchester. Just doing a commute job.
Doing a commute.
Yeah, so I have been making myself ill with them trying to make the decision of moving to London or not. And my main thought was you.
Yeah. That's
Obviously,
so nice.
Naturally, that was the only real thing that was my decision, was how we would be.
Yeah.
And we spoke about this on the phone, and it was actually one of the most nice conversations we've ever had, I think.
Yeah, it was lovely.
But really bittersweet.
It was nice. And then I went to therapy the next week and spoke about it, and she literally was like, you are so good.
Yeah.
You've changed so much,
Yes.
basically.
That's exactly why it made me emotional, to see like that we've got to a place where we can have really adult conversations.
Yeah.
And really put the other one like
First.
Yeah, I think we've been so, what's the word? Codependent. And like our relationship after all the loss it's just like the closest relationship ever. Like I can't even explain our closeness.
Yeah.
We like operate kind of as one. Like I if Alicia was sad, like I wasn't functioning.
Yeah, we were like extensions of each other.
Yeah.
And we started to see each other as that, which was a problem for a while.
Do you think?
Well, I definitely saw you as that, but without, it wasn't like a conscious thought. Like I didn't wake up and think that, but like the way that my behavior, the way that I was acting was like, if I was going through something, Amy would be the one to fix it. Or like if I was feeling a certain way and I didn't understand it, Amy would help me understand it. Or like if it just, that's the thing, because we were raised like that, and we were. Or like we were always a two, and it was always like you two are each other's best mate, and like it was lovely to recognise, but it did sort of push that narrative onto us.
Yeah.
And like we then became extensions of each other, and
yeah,
it became really hard to exist individually.
Yeah, because I existed as like you were told to use me.
Yeah.
And I was told to help you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's all the way that it's been, even like down to like when I started my period, it was like, well, has Amy taught you how to put a pad on or anything yet? Or like, I'd be like, well, I feel like this. Or like, Amy's gone on a sleepover and I feel so stressed because she's gone. And then instead of being like, why'd you feel stressed? What happened? Amy would come home.
Yeah, I'd have to come home.
And it was like that. That's how it was built, so that obviously all I learned was problem Amy. It was like, it's not something that's bad. Like I'm not chatting shit. Like it is just the way that it was. And like, it was lovely. It felt lovely when we were kids, because it was like, she's my best friend and I know that. And like, it was a nice thing, but also like in the long run, obviously as adults, it kind of, we didn't really know how to do it. And like, I feel like if
Well, it was when things got tough.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, if mum hadn't have passed, we probably would be fine.
Yeah, it's because we had to.
But we had to go through this, obviously, this huge trauma together. And then we just learnt codependency and didn't see any other way of the world.
Yeah.
That's how I felt.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know that other existence existed.
Yeah.
I didn't know that we could be separate.
Yeah. But that's like the difference in your journey from thinking that
To now.
and then obviously that becoming hard for both of us, because one, it was hard for me obviously because I was looking after you, but two, it was hard for you because you weren't giving yourself permission to be strong. Like, not strong.
Yeah, no, I know
You weren't giving
exactly
yourself
what you mean.
permission to know your full potential, because you were just like, you were taught that, so you didn't know your potential of you being you as you.
Yeah. But that's what I'm learning now in therapy still. Like, that is still the biggest battle that I have, is knowing like that I'm worth things and that I have opinions that matter and I have like agency and that I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
And like, I am learning that now, but also like that conversation, that when you rang me, I had a little cry and it was a couple of seconds and it was my body just feeling it. And then it was just like, I'm so excited for you. And I'm so excited for you to go and to experience life and what life can be, not here. Because like, it is horrible here sometimes. And like, we're so trauma bonded to Manchester as an escape route that it seems hard sometimes to imagine the world that is existing out of it. And I'm excited for you to find that, because the world is so huge and you can do so many things.
Yeah, but you can.
I know I can, and that's why that's why I felt so cathartic. And when we hung up the phone, I was so excited and I felt this weight off my shoulders that had been weighing me down for so long I didn't even know that it was.
Yeah, me too.
Because like, I've craved a huge change in my life to help me grow, because I feel like it's so stagnant at the moment and I'm ready for something but I'm scared. So this is that. And like,
Fucking hell, that's so...
It's so nice because we are gonna just be sisters. It's so nice.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so fun.
Well, I can't believe your growth. I'm just so proud of you and all the work you're doing. It's insane. You're really somewhat good.
I'm getting there, but it is hard. Like, of course it's hard.
Yeah.
And like, it also sounds as if sometimes I forget that you need me too.
But when you're there, you're like you are the best person in my life. But that's just a fact anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was hard for me as well to do the call. Like, we were both so sad on the phone, but also excited, and it was nice. But that day, I'd been like, oh my God, I'd been crazy. I'd been just like crying all the time. I was so stressed, and like, I didn't realize how.
I was at work.
It was, no, but it wasn't even that day. It's been like months of like, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
And like, just all, like, again, it was that weight of being like, I just need to make a decision. And I cried so much in the car that I choked on my chewing gum. So I was driving, crying my eyes out, like,
shut the fuck up.
Yeah, and I was like, I need to just ring Alicia, I think.
Yeah. Because it's like,
just try it. I'm going 2 hours down the road. For Christ's sake.
it's going to be fun because obviously you're still at work and I'm there at the moment. So it's like, we're still going to see each other at work.
Yeah.
And the podcast is still going to happen. And it's also like, we're going to be able to update each other on each other's lives. And like, what's hard is that we work in the same place and it's so nice sometimes. But it's also like, I think it came at such a bad time because I obviously got into a relationship and that was my first experience of being an adult without you. You weren't involved in that at all. And obviously you couldn't have been. Mm-hmm. But I was like, I now need to be a responsible adult and understand my emotions. And I would go to you and be like, obviously with my relationship problems, but that ending and like now where we are is like me understanding that is how the world is now.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know it. My brain didn't have that. I didn't know it, that we were going to be separate and we were going to be adults and that was going to get there because I have been stuck in this limbo since mum died of being like, this is how our life is now.
Yeah.
And like, it was just that bubble of like that cloud and it was just like, this is how I function now.
Yeah.
But it doesn't need to be.
No. And it's so freeing once you know, like, I feel like we both feel a bit more free. Like we both have, we've made that transition. Like that's a crazy transition to make.
Yeah.
From thinking that, both of us though, like it wasn't like there was a time, like it's only recently that I've started to realize, oh, this isn't right. It shouldn't be like this. Before that, I thought that's what it would be like. I thought that's what it should be like.
Yeah, same.
Like,
same.
I think
but that's
also
it felt right at the time.
But also, it's because as soon as mum died, I took that role, no question. I just did it. And I just didn't naturally, I didn't think about it. But I was like mothering all these adults as well. And you.
Yeah.
And then they didn't change, I don't think.
That's the thing, because I think when that happens, like, that's what I try and tell people now when things happen, is the skills you build in your fight or flight after it happens, like, you don't know that it's happening, but like you're building coping mechanisms,
quickly.
and like so quickly, and they will be the coping mechanisms that you use until they don't serve you anymore.
Yeah.
And like now we're at the point where they don't serve us anymore, and like we've had to relearn every coping mechanism.
Yeah.
And we've had to understand that like we can't exist like that. Like we can't be together all the time, and we can't be each other's backbone, because like that happened and that was what we needed at the time because we were children.
Yeah.
But like we don't need that anymore. We can do it ourselves, which is so fun. I was going to do that then. My sock is too big.
Oh, they're them thermal ones.
You know what's so funny, speaking of socks?
Oh,
I was in work the other day and I said to Bo,
socks on this podcast.
I know, I'm so sorry. I said to Bo, I said, we were like showing each other our shoes or something, and then I was wearing the slothies and she paused and I went, what's wrong? And she went, are you okay? I was like, yeah. She was like, are you all right? Wearing them socks?
Wearing the devil socks.
Yeah, wearing them socks.
Oh my
I was
fucking
like, I'm fine,
God.
Bo.
Okay, so that's a shift as well. Usually
Yeah.
when you wore the slothy socks, you were going to have you don't let me say griefy bee.
A griefy bee.
I found videos of you saying griefy bee.
No, you didn't.
I did, because
You're
they
a
were on
liar.
the podcast. Comment below, Leisha, you're on
You're a liar.
You're on the podcast going griefy bee.
You're a liar.
Griefy bee. I'm not a liar.
What that is I'm trying to fit in.
Oh my God. Fit in with me.
Amy,
Love you.
I'm assimilating.
Little cute.
The thing is, I bought more fluffy socks because, well, I didn't. It's been Christmas, motherfuckers. So I've got a pair for each day now.
Oh, so when I see the fluffies,
Don't
I don't have to
panic.
worry.
It's daily now until summer, when my feet can breathe.
My feet can breathe. What else did you want to talk about?
So birthdays, perhaps? It is birthday season.
Oh my God, yeah. I just turned 28.
Yo! I texted you before your 28th birthday and I said, can't believe you're turning 25. And then you went, and I went, wait, I'm turning 24. And Jess just said to me the other day, she was like, I always think Amy's 18. I was like, yes, same. I'm 24.
That's...
I'm literally 24, almost.
Yeah, I'm 28, Alicia.
Can we just, like, that is real. Like, you are 28. And I don't know why. I don't know why. And I'm genuinely going to have a panic attack because I don't know time is passing like that.
I know, yeah.
I didn't know time was going like
I know.
that. I was asleep.
Honestly, grief does that. Does everyone feel like that?
I feel asleep.
I think everyone does say, like, oh, how's fast
How
my
time's-
20s gone? But, like, I don't think time went this fast before grief. Did it?
I don't
Or does it just
know.
speed up when you get older?
But it felt so slow. It
Mate,
felt like the
school's
longest
boring, though.
8 years of my life. But also 8 years
Since what?
since she died.
It's been 8 years.
Yeah,
See
since
what
what?
I mean?
Yeah, since she
what?
died.
8 years?
Yes, it's 2025.
No, I'm going to be sick. It feels like 2 years ago. Maybe 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
sometimes.
but it also doesn't feel like any time ago because to me it feels like not us.
Yeah, it feels like someone I used... Somebody that I used
Somebody! Yeah. How do you feel when you look at baby pictures? You don't have to answer that. Your face.
to know. Sick and tired.
Really?
I feel... I went through a period where I couldn't look at baby me. And
I
still
can't look at baby you. To be
You
fair.
can't look at baby me?
No.
No, I can't look at like toddler you. Because that hurts me.
I'm gonna be sick.
Yeah. Because I just think those girls... They did not know what's
They didn't know
coming.
anything. They didn't even know they were alive.
They were also having such a good time.
Yeah.
It does hurt looking at baby photos when you're in the griefy pits, doesn't it?
It does, but it's also like I look at her and I know that's me. My body knows that's me because I feel it. And I know that. I'm recognizing it. My brain doesn't. Like I look at her and I'm like I know that it's me, but I don't feel like that is me. I feel like that's some other child that's like an extension of me, but isn't me.
Yeah, I hear that.
I think
Do you think that's to do with like it's like a huge period of my life was when I was talking about grief, I would talk about it like it was someone else. Like I would speak about it so flippantly, like I wouldn't even feel like I was talking about myself. Like I really spoke about it like it was a film
yeah, you did.
for ages. Do you not
Yeah.
think that's what you're talking about?
I think it is that, but I also think that it's like when trauma happens to you when you're a child, I think your brain does split, and I think it does separate that time from now, and like I think it's a protection thing. Like I think it is my brain being like that's, if you don't think about that as you can exist in the present and not associate with your trauma,
So
kind of thing. So it's like a separation. I
do
don't know.
do you see when you look at yourself after mum dying,
That's me.
that's you?
Yeah. Like us in your room dancing, Christmas, braces, glasses. That's me. I know that's me.
Wow, that's interesting.
But as a child, I don't know that is me at all. Baby pictures with our cousins, like all of that. I don't recognise that as me at all.
Yeah.
But that was before it happened.
Yeah, see, the before you, to me, doesn't feel that familiar. But the you...
Like the
I don't
16-year-old
fucking
me
know.
is so familiar. But I think it's because I'm still in that, like my brain shifted then, and now it is how it is now. So I recognise and I relate to her, the 16-year-old, but I don't relate to the child before that because I don't feel like that anymore. Because I felt
Interesting.
loved.
You don't feel loved?
I feel loved.
I felt like I had heart pain
Oh.
on my birthday because of the amount of love that I felt.
You would just scream. You'd literally look at all your presents. Took her hours to open all her presents, even though there was about 6. Because she'd literally stand there and she'd go, I don't know what to open. I'm so loved.
It was so nice. I read all my birthday cards at most mornings.
Yeah, I've got all mine.
I love feeling loved.
Loves it.
Loves it.
So your birthday was good, apart from the fact that your neck was cricked.
It still is. Like, that's
Look
why
at her
I'm
go.
massaging myself.
She's wiggling.
Oh, I woke up like this on my 28th birthday. Oh, got crick in my neck.
Crick in my neck.
Crick is scratching.
Yeah, so she was on codeine all day, which was fine.
Class.
But your birthday's tough, and it is always, and mine is too.
Oh yeah, because Fran died the week before.
Yeah.
2 weeks before.
Yeah.
And then guess what happened on Alicia's birthday?
Mum died 2 weeks later.
Can we just touch on that?
It's weird, isn't it?
So, right, let's go from the top. Mum died on
The 18th of March 2017.
the week after your birthday,
Yes.
at your sweet 16th.
Sweet 16.
Okay.
Yeah, at my sweet 16th.
And then Fran died the week before my
21st. Your sweet 21st. Following year. So it hadn't been a year quite yet, but almost. Mum died when you were 20. Fran died the following Feb. So you also went through Fran's death, and then a month later had to go through Mum's first year anniversary. A month later. And on that day, we actually went to Harry's christening. Which is funny.
That is so suppressed, isn't it?
Yeah, we went to a christening and celebrated new life.
We were literally like glazed over.
Yeah.
Wait, so that was after Fran had died?
That was a month after Fran had died, yeah. We went and celebrated new life at the christening.
I
Thank
also,
the Lord.
that's when I was watching 13 Reasons Why, binging it,
That was out, yeah.
which is really weird to watch.
Why would we
as
even
soon
watch
as
that?
Fran died.
Yeah.
That is like, give me something worse than my life, my real. Give me something really gory. Give me something that's even more fucked up. But the funny
Makes me
thing
feel
is, it's
better.
not even more fucked up.
That's why I love true crime, I think.
Oh yeah,
It
Give me
makes me feel
something.
so normal. When all these people have gone through terrible, terrible things.
Yeah,
And I think blessed. I'm already blessed.
yeah, that's quite horrible, isn't it? But I
Sorry,
think that's normal.
It's pretty, yeah, it's normal. This
But-
year,
Da, da, da.
ding, ding, ding. Pff, I've got a funeral the day after my birthday this year, which is all right. Is what it is.
Not ideal.
Not ideal.
Trigger Central. That's Trigger Town.
It is
That's
Trigger Town
Trigger
because
City.
it's gonna be a mum funeral,
Trigger.
and I would be like,
Yes.
yeah.
I hate my squeak. Do you think when the listeners first heard my laugh, they were like, fuck?
Yeah,
Pulled their
people with their
headphones
AirPods
out.
in. But it's a very triggering time.
Yeah, I think it's the past few years. Last year was especially quite a bad one. Like,
So bad.
you're so triggered on that day. And you know what, as well? It was Mother's Day last year. So it was Mother's Day on your birthday, and then her anniversary was like
The week after.
the week after. So it is a really hard time. And I think that's the interesting thing with grief, is because when you're grieving, you obviously, when someone else around you is grieving, you know exactly what it feels like. You know how horrible it is. And you feel like you want to help so much, and you want to do anything you can to get someone you care about out of that pain and like help them through it. But sometimes it's like so triggering to help people, when to be around people that have lost someone. It can be really triggering. I still don't really know what to say. Like, you don't really ever learn. You think that I'd know what to say to help people, but like every situation is so different, and like, yeah, I still struggle. That's why it's so hard, and that like it is so hard for people to know what to say, and I understand that now. I spent a lot of time being angry at people for saying the wrong thing, and I'm not anymore, because like it's what, like, no one knows because no one's taught. Like, this is why we need to keep talking about it on here, so people can learn what's appropriate and what's not. Obviously, I've never said anything inappropriate, but it's still impossible to find the words to comfort someone when something is that bad.
Yeah, it is. And that's the thing, like, I feel like, obviously I felt so sad and so angry that people weren't asking and saying what I needed them to say.
Yeah.
but I didn't know what I needed them to say.
Yeah.
So it was kind of
You're
like
a child.
this feeling in me. It was like anger, and like I know there's something, like I want something to fix it, but nothing's hitting. And like now I feel even more guilty because I have a podcast about it, but B, have been through it and like built my life again. So I feel like a lot of people obviously look at us and they come to us about it, but then I almost feel worse because I still don't know what to say.
Yeah.
And like I feel like there's this, not a responsibility, but like I still only say, like all I can say is like I'm so sorry, and like I'm sending you wishes, and like I'm here if you need me. And like, but it just makes me feel so bad because that's not enough. I know that's not enough.
Yeah, but no, I don't think people that are in their grief journey, I think at the start of your grief journey, especially for me, I was so numb that I didn't really register what anyone was saying. So it doesn't matter. Then when it was in the phase of like everyone starting to forget maybe, or it seemed like everyone was forgetting, then I'd get angry at people for not saying the right thing.
Yeah.
Or being insensitive. That was the period where I was really angry at that. And then now I feel like I've come to realise, now I'm further in my grief journey, that I don't know what to say, because you don't know what that person's going to get triggered by.
Yeah.
Like, obviously it's hard to say the right thing. There's things obviously you should never say.
Yeah,
and
of course.
that's why the things we spoke about on here are just like obviously stupid things that obviously aren't going to make anyone feel better. But like, yeah, it's so hard. And I think what I would try and say to people is, obviously you're going to be angry. You have the absolute right to be angry at everyone at the world. You're in a horrible position, and anger is so normal. And I've never been as angry as I was at the start, but I can appreciate knowing someone's trying. You know when someone's intentions are in the right place.
Yeah.
And you know when people just say things for the sake of it. Like,
Yeah.
just try not to hold everyone, I don't know,
too accountable. That's the thing. I mean, the context with ours was we were so young and our parents had divorced. So like dad stepped the fuck up.
Yeah.
But that was always obviously underlying as like, we knew where we were with mum, and like we knew, me and you, and we knew our lives at that time, and no one else really did. And that's why it felt so me and you against the world, because we like, yeah, we obviously that was how it was. But what I've learned now is that my anger it's obviously projection, and it's obviously like me being, because I was angry at the beginning, obviously. I was angry because she had died and I was projecting. And then I would like spike, my anger would spike all the time. And that would probably be my body like realising slowly that she's gone. My brain didn't until I went to therapy last year. But my body was realising, and I felt so angry about it. And I think that's what it is. And like, that's why it's okay that you can't say the right thing, because these people are people are upset because something's happened to them. You can't fix it.
Yeah.
You can't make it better. You can't say the right thing. You can offer support and you can offer laughs.
Yeah.
And like, that's what I always try and do. Like, if people need me, I'll tell them I know that they're upset, and I know that if they want to bring it up in a deep way, they can, and this is a safe space. But I always try and just help them laugh, because then kind of the weight kind of comes off anyway.
That's interesting. Like, I'm speaking at a panel next week, the Sector Summit in Westminster, and one of the questions is about using humour for that. And like, why do you do that?
Because I know that like when I have, for example, gone to stay with a friend because I'm really down, like, or I've gone somewhere and seeked help. I know that it's happening. They know that it's happening because I've told them, and they know why I'm coming round. I am feeling it every single day anyway, but I know that I'm going to have to go home at some point. So I'm sort of like teaching them, like, remember that you can laugh, and like, remember that you could do this, kind of almost like building skills for when they go back.
Yeah.
Instead of dwelling on what's sad, I'm here to talk about it, and I would love to get it out of you if you want to. But like, for me, I like to just remind people that they can have a good time. And like, if I can.
Yeah.
So I think, because that's what I appreciate when I go see my friends and like I know that I'm sad, I don't necessarily want to sit there. Sometimes I do, and I want to just talk about it for hours. But sometimes I just want to go around and play games and just have fun.
That's like why it's so nice when you have the people that can do both. And I think that's the best advice of how to help someone grieving, isn't it? Like, you have to follow their lead to a certain extent, but obviously if you see them going down a path or like something that is not as helpful, then you can step in. But like, I always liked being around people that if I was laughing, they would laugh too. If I was crying, they would switch up the tone and be sensitive and serious. Like, and then that it's not their place to then make a joke to bring it light. Do you know what I mean? Like, you have to follow them when they're talking. Like, when I start laughing, laugh with me. And like, it sounds like it's not that hard.
No, that is just a basic conversation. But people don't. And it's like, I also understand there's nuance in mental health, of course, because like people, it's not so black and white as like, if I want to talk about it, I'm going to talk about it. Like, there's obviously the added layer of people might want inside be screaming and being like, I want to talk about it, but they still can't. So I also try and like look for signs if they like, they're forgetting to blink, or like, they're like looking down, or like that their energy is shifted. I'll then go back and be like, wait, was that something that you wanted to explain, or something that you wanted to talk about, or like, how do you feel now?
Question.
Yeah. Because my therapist does it. She notices, and instead of just being like, what, like, she just says, how are you feeling now? Like, what are you experiencing now after that? What are you feeling now? And we'll go from there.
Yeah, that's
really. And I think that's a nice question, is like, how are you feeling now? What's that brought up for you?
And also that how are you feeling now is such an important one, because I think that's what I try and do when someone's going through something. Because someone would ask me, how are you? In like the week after mum died.
Good,
and
thanks.
It's like, yeah, but your body is like, you go to be like, yeah, fine, thanks. But obviously you're not fine, but you can't be like, my whole world has absolutely concaved and I feel like it's over. That's not a text like that you'd send usually. So I think when you ask, how are you feeling this morning? How has your afternoon been? Or how have you been feeling throughout this afternoon or evening? Or like,
to really,
to really get into the, like, because you can't answer a question like that. That's so wide. And I've done it recently. I said to my friend, how are you feeling? Heartbroken. It's like,
of course.
Obviously you are.
Of course. And that's the thing. It's like, that's when, I remember when we were young, we had a conversation about the differences between like, how are you and how are you? And it's like oh, hey, how are you? I'm never going to reply with this. Like, hey, how are you? It's like a good, thanks. That's a British way of saying hello. Whereas like,
all right.
Whereas it's like, hey, how are you feeling today? How are you?
So much more intentional.
It's so much more intentional.
And I feel like that gives people, like, allows them
to recognise that.
To be like, oh, you actually want to know how I'm doing right now. Like, not
like, you're actually down for this conversation to go into like an hour. Like, you're down for that. And
when you have those people around, it's really nice. And that's what I want to be for people. And that's what we are.
You are.
And that's what we
for people
have. And we're really lucky to have that. But I think if you have a friend that's grieving, that's, some advice for you. But it also, if you're grieving, that's what, I want you to try and look for and check in your relationships whether they're serving you.
But also, like, if you're grieving right now, like, it's so hard, and like, we're saying this 8 years in, and like, I only learnt this because I'm paying literally £200 a month for therapy, and like, it is so hard, and I didn't even know that I was capable of feeling this way and explaining it in this way.
I mean, you've been on the journey from the podcast we've even posted so far. I think you'll be able to see the journey. Like, I look back at our TikTok clips from the first, and they're so angry. Like, we're reading out things people say about grief, and then we're like, fucking idiot, why would you fucking... Then I feel like now we're like learning, everything. But that's, you go through all of it. You go through anger, you go, like, that is just what grief is. So be patient,
because like, you're not going to get to the point where you're going to be able to have sit down deep conversations about what it is, how it feels, and what it means. I didn't even...
And it always changes.
I just felt heavy for years and years and years, and then suddenly I was like, okay, maybe this has happened. So it's just patience, and it's day by day, and Yeah.
talking about it bit by bit, little by little.
Yes.
And it's
absolutely.
not as scary as it seems. That's the whole point of why we do it.
Exactly. But we love you all, and I'm so blessed to be back, and I feel happy about it. I'm excited.
I love you.
And I'll see you soon. I love you too.
Bye.